shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling.
It is Wednesday. That means we are going live. And it's the last time that I actually have 2 live shows on one day. If you missed it this morning, I was talking on Ecamp's channel on our last episode of Fast Forward about how to cross-map things and how you can take one workflow and one ClickUp setup and turn it into something else. So if you want to watch that, the playlist is on my YouTube channel too. I should have grabbed a new bottle. This is nearly empty. Today, I want to talk about team management, because it seems to be popping up everywhere right now. It's interesting. Topics come in waves, it seems. So what's been happening over the last couple of weeks behind the scenes is that I have seen a lot of people and a lot of companies struggle with the issue of team not knowing what to do, where to look, when, how, what, why, where. They are like, I don't know where my stuff is. I don't know where my stuff is. So I figured we'll make today's live show about how to handle teams. How are we making it possible for them to see what they need to see, what's going on, how, what, why, where, when. Because when you look into my sandbox and all the things, it's like, this is a mess and I wouldn't be able to find anything either. So let's do that. And if you're watching live, pop in the comment section. Who's watching? I see the eyeball, but I'm not seeing who's watching. This is your show. This is here for you to get answers, to get help. We had a lot of fun in this morning's episode. That was the channel name. Awesome Productions had asked me a question about cross-mapping, actually, about how to take one template and use it for a whole bunch of clients. And it was really fun. He watched the replay and just jumped right into the comment section. He seemed to have really fun in that replay. I think by the third or fourth comment of awesome, I was like, you're really having fun on this show, don't you? He definitely had. So, pop in the comment section. Show me who you are. Okay, let's start in the beginning. Often enough, when I jump into conversations, most of those conversations seem to be happening in Facebook. And multiple different groups. I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups from my friends. I don't spend much time in Facebook groups anymore. I'm only in these groups that I do want to be in because I'm connected to the people. And I come across a post of a friend of mine that I've known has been struggling if she wants to stay with her team on ClickUp or not. They're doing a lot of development. They're now moving from a membership training type style into also offering partial done-for-you services. And she has a small team of like 3 to 5 people, something like that. And the question in there was, okay, the team is fighting me. They don't really care about ClickUp. They don't know. They just don't know. They are like, it just doesn't make sense. They don't know where to look. They don't know where to find their tasks. They're just overwhelmed. What else are the tools out there? So you know how that goes. These conversations are just like the Windows Mac conversations of, okay, which tool do you like? Because you're never really going to get an actual productive answer out of them, why and how it's implemented. And the conversation continued as I expected it. It's the Windows Mac conversation. Oh, I really love my Mac. Oh, I really love my Windows. And no real result came out of it. So I asked him, like, okay, so let's find you a real solution. The team management is obviously the issue here because she knows her way around ClickUp. She loves it. The team is who's fighting her. Who are like, this just doesn't work. And I dove in and I asked her, okay, first off, what is the team saying? So I sent them through my ClickUp assessment. Got some information out of them. Just let me show you. You might have seen it before. I'll show you my assessment. My assessment form. You can easily duplicate this. It's really nothing fancy. It's just to be able to tickle out of the team what's going on. So what we did is I sent them through this, which is literally just name, company title. How would you rate yourself? Are you a ClickUp beginner? Are you a ClickUp intermediate? Are you an expert? What's your user role? And then we really just used the ClickUp emojis of, okay, rate it 1 to 5. How are you feeling about understanding notifications and all the things? And then, okay, what are your struggles with ClickUp? What do you love about ClickUp? So what we did in the process of figuring out why they are having an internal issue using ClickUp is let's assess the situation. Rather than ClickUp doesn't work, let's go to Asana, Trello, Jira, whatever it is. Let's figure out what the actual problem is before we have this whole Mac Windows conversation. Cool. Hey, Gustavo. Gustavo's going to be on the channel in January. We are talking all Scrum, Agile, running sprints, all the things. It's going to get nutty in January. Your team is pretty happy in ClickUp. We're going to come to a couple custom views and stuff for you here in a little bit. I'm just finishing up the story. And I had a call with her today to round up our findings with the team to look at her ClickUp setup, which, by the way, was actually pretty nice. It wasn't from the struggles and frustrations she had. There was nothing really wrong with the setup. So we talked through the actual issue. The issue wasn't the tool. What came out in this questionnaire is the team didn't get well trained. The person they worked with last time just was in her beginning phases, didn't know as much about ClickUp as she knows now. Yes, I know the trainer that they were working with. The course they have in their membership that the team also worked off of is not the best. So the actual issue wasn't the ClickUp setup and how they were running it. The actual issue was team education. The team doesn't feel comfortable working in ClickUp because they're afraid they're gonna delete something, screw something up. I literally had one sentence and they were like, I'm afraid I'm gonna break something. They didn't know the workflows in there. They just didn't know. How do we feel when we drive a car for the first time? We shit our pants. Because we don't know. The same thing happens with your team in ClickUp. So make sure that you educate your team. So the first thing we did is, yes, it needs to be updated. And if you are a member, it needs to be updated, but you're still getting it. You're also getting the updated version. If you are a member of my YouTube membership, there's a join button down there now. If you look right underneath my video, that way, I think. I think it's over here. Come on, can we catch up? It doesn't catch up. That side. I have control video running over there. There's a join button right here. I now have the YouTube membership open. You are getting fancy emojis. The longer you stay, the fancier the emojis get. We're working on the custom emojis right now. VIP access to me through a private membership Discord channel in our public Discord channel. It's locked down just for members. And you are getting the training I'm showing you right now. And they were really, really excited about this. What this training is, it is literally, and if you've been around my channel, you've seen this training before. In this training list, what we do is we use this training for every single member. Every team member, it doesn't matter if they're coming in as a guest member, if they're coming in as a full member. Some of my clients update it and pull a couple of things out for their team. They add things, whatever it is. But it is an interactive training template smack dab in ClickUp, which means they have a list they can play around with. We have interactive trainings down here using the multi-toolbar. You can literally tell them they can't break anything in here, which means they can click around, they can figure things out. They can see how custom fields work. They can see how time estimates work. They can play around and figure out how all of the priority flags work. They can work with ClickUp without having to be afraid about screwing anything up. So you're pretty much giving them training reels to go play around, go see what's happening in ClickUp. How do things work? How do I open tasks? How do subtasks work? And while playing around in here, they also have the videos that explain alongside how ClickUp works. And please, please, please do not expect your team to know things. Here's another story. Tech company. Amazing people. Nerdy as can be. They've been working with ClickUp for probably 3 to 6 months once they pulled me in. They've never realized the me mode button. It just wasn't a thing. And their team was struggling with similar issues of, where are my tasks? So do not assume that your team knows everything, all the things. Even if you consider it basic and everybody should know it, that doesn't mean everybody else does. They might not have needed that feature before. Okay. Let me see. Group by topic. How fancy. Yes, that is actually a really, all we did is we have in this list a drop down menu, and the drop down menu is our topics, and that's it. That's the same thing I'm actually also using in my courses. So with the social media management, the course we are working on right now, same thing. Sessions. If you go into the sessions right here, you're going to see the same thing where the quote topic, the session collection is intro, main setup, the process, the automation, bonus, and what's next. The using drop-down custom fields is really great, especially when you are trying to build any kind of courses, any kind of training within here. And don't stop there. Most of my clients, what they do is they grab this standard basic template, use that, and they add an additional list for company-specific trainings. Let me open up my Whimsical. What we actually do is having a space in ClickUp just for our team. Meaning we have an HR space, for lack of coming up with a fancier name, an HR space, and each team member gets their own folder in here. So if you look at this first row is our space level, the second row is folder level. And in the folder level, we then have team member A and team member B. So each team member gets their own folder. And then within that, we got our team onboarding. So yes, your existing team might not need the onboarding, but you want to have that in here for new future team members because you want to scale, right? Okay. Then we got basic ClickUp training. Then you might have another list with team-specific training or management training or whatever it is, so that when your team gets onboarded and when you're starting to work with them, you have the resources ready to go. It's there. You don't even have to worry about it. Then, okay, so we talked about the pieces of make sure you are educating your team. Do not expect that they actually know everything, even if they've been around and been using ClickUp for I don't care how long. There is things I don't even know that are working now differently, that have changed, that I haven't used before, that I simply don't need every single day or don't even know about. And I've been working within and with ClickUp for over 3 years now. So make sure you train your team, get them comfortable, lay out your workflows visually. That was one of the big things today in the car where it's like, okay, we can do this and we can do that. If you use something like Whimsical or Mural to lay out your workflow visually, it's going to help your team process that information and cross-map it over into the ClickUp structure. Sometimes you just need to see the big picture. And then custom views. So let's go over into my sandbox. There's my sandbox. And screen share. You've seen, let me pull up the right ones. That is our content creation template. We have a lot of stuff in here. Gustavo agrees, it's really having this visual of how flows work, how a process works, and easily being able to just follow a line to know what's happening. Invaluable. And what is happening in here today? This is like a whole nother mess. There's my admin. I don't need, that needs to be, and why is everything open? This is like really weird. And why is nothing hidden? What the hell is happening here? Something is wonky today. We had a couple of weird things happening earlier in ClickUp, but my internet also has been not what it's supposed to be. Look at that. Now that looks like it's supposed to be looking. Okay, getting started. Content management. Do I not have clients? There we go. Team management. One of the biggest issue with team management and teams finding their assets is often structure. So first of all, tip for everybody, I don't care if the team is coming in as guest or full member, me button. Me button, me button, me button, me button. And I'm saying it again, me button. Turn on the ClickUp me mode. Let your team know about it. Make sure they know so that they can blend out everything and anything. Okay? Cool. Next thing that seemingly happens all the time is this filter thing up here also allows you to do things. So if your team member is a full member and they actually can use everything view, they can go all the way up here with all the things, and that this is overwhelming. I get this, because this pretty much shows everything. And then you look at the messed up sandbox structure on the left-hand side, because Evie has been building templates. Yeah. Now imagine your team comes in and they see this. Cool? No, we don't do this. Meme out, first major tip. Secondary, show them how to use these filters up here. Have them go into everything if they're a full-on member. Go into view, make themselves a personal view, pin that thing, and call that Evie. Use all capital letters if you want to. That is my space. Nobody else can see this. I can sort this however I want to. Your team can sort this however they want to. So first thing is, I don't care what anybody else does. I just care about what I need to do. Cool. But there's more. You can even add filters on location, meaning you can build yourself a custom view. If your team is more of a VA that does do multiple different jobs, that works in the website department, but also works in the graphics department and over there, they can use the location filter in here and choose which ones of those spaces they want to see. They also can use a status filter of, I only want to see my close task because I don't want to see what I have to work today. Whatever it is, there is so many things you can do. Same without the me mode for your managers. If you have a project manager, cool. Let them work with custom views to pay attention to what needs to happen or not. One of the biggest things my agency use is an on-fire list. Now, this mostly applies if you actually use flags. It works with the standard statuses and all of that too. But this is especially efficient and productive and helping your team if you use the flags. So let's talk about use case here for a second. We are in an agency. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We are freaking big. We have 50 employees and 20 clients. I don't know, just for the fun of it. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's a chance that we are going to miss a deadline, or the client is suddenly moving up a deadline. Those things never happen, right? We just imagine those. Never. Client changing terms never happens. Let's just imagine it does happen. So client is like, oops, we moved up the grand opening 2 weeks earlier. Can you make that happen? Sure. No idea how, but let's try it. With that, using priority flags allows you to put a red priority flag on that says, hey, we just had a crazy client that decided their grand opening is happening 2 weeks earlier. We need to get this done yesterday. So this on fire list allows you to see priority flags first. As you can see, this is literally just a list of all tasks throughout everything. In everything view, one list that we called on fire that is grouped by priority. So we don't care what the status is right now. I don't care where in the process it is. I don't care what status it is. I don't care what stage it is. We are going by the priority flag because client needs it yesterday. Cool. Looking at this, the highest priority is on top. This is the first thing you're going to see because that's where the fire is going. Then you hit, let me kick this out here for a second. If we just do by priority, group by priority, we have the high priority on top. Cool. There's a second level of data though, because we have priorities that were due in September. Yes, this is a sandbox. You then click right on here and we do the sorting the other way around. There we go. Which means now it is grouped by priority. So we have the red urgent flag right on top, the yellow underneath, the blue of yeah, okay, and low underneath, and then with no priority all the way on the bottom. It doesn't pay any attention to any stages or statuses. It only pays attention to the priority flags first. We then clicked into the sorting feature and sorted by due dates too. Now, your fire list is telling you that updating the navigation bar and help center is a high priority and actually way overdue too. Now your team easily can see what needs to happen and doesn't matter who is assigned to it. It just needs to get done. There's one custom view for you that will help you manage your team. If you have specific use case scenarios that you want to get taken care of, that you are struggling with your team right now, pop them in the comment section. Now is your turn to ask your questions and get live answers. Perfect live use case scenario. Let's see. Now that we got the on fire list done. Kendra's in the house. Hey girl, hey. Perfect timing. I was just talking about organizing things for my team. The moment we move from solopreneur to working with a team and working with a small team to a big team, there is always changes happening. There's always updates happening. I'm just excited you're using your ClickUp. Hey Django, welcome back to my channel and live show. Everybody that just joined, joined the live stream, take a look right down here. We just opened up the membership right here on the channel. We're still working on the fancy emojis that actually get even fancier the longer you stick around. And I talked right in the beginning, I'm making sense of this here in a second. I talked right in the beginning about our training template that we use with clients, as well as pretty much anybody to get the team on board, to get the team educated. You are getting this template when you're joining. So if you click the join button right down there, it's literally just $10 a month with a custom private member channel on our Discord channel just for members, where you get to nerd out and actually get VIP access to me. You always have access to me, but you get VIP access on that one. Resources, task, priorities, and shared documents. Yes, all the asset management. So Kendra, I think you joined a little bit later. Let me repeat this really fast for you. Something I showed earlier. This is one of the things we always set up for team management within ClickUp, having an HR space with a folder level sorting of your team members. So each team member gets their own folder. We then have onboarding, which answers all of the initial questions, getting all the assets and information from team members that we need. And then this basic ClickUp training is in there. We often enough also add additional lists to this with company-specific trainings or linking SOPs for the areas they work in. There's a whole bunch of things that we can do right in here too. So yeah, and that training template is right down there. If you click the join button, it is in the member channel in Discord, already linked, and you are getting this. Okay, we talked about the on fire list. That is one big one to look on the big time. Now you can use dashboards. You can build team dashboards. Did you know that? So, team dashboards. There's a whole bunch of things we can do. I already have a test board ready to go, which was actually a client test board, was something we tested out. We'll be talking about that at some point too. And I'm still not used to that. We have edit and viewing tabs now in dashboards. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it, but I'm still not used to having to click editing to actually add it. So how could a team member dashboard look like? Now, you can invite guests to dashboards. So this is a workaround for you not being able... Yes, I know. Go away. Don't need that right now. So dashboard could be a workaround for you if you are bringing in team members a lot as guests, simply because they don't have that overlaying view of everything. With that, easy task list. Which selection will just all of them. It's not going to be called task list. It's going to be called EV today. Why EV today? Because we're going to be grouping that by status for now. We'll see. We'll include subtasks just for the fun of it. Task filter. Task filter is going to be due date is today. Add widget. Now, we don't have any tasks due today. I'm going to show you something else here in a second. Duplicating this. No, not the setting. I want to just duplicate this. Duplicating this. And then we call this EV overdue. And we change the actual filter to overdue. Now we're going to see something. Look how easy it suddenly is for your team to see what they need. Hold. I forgot another filter. And filter is assignee is EV. EV. Done. Booyah. Now it actually makes sense. But let's clean this up. I don't want to have all of this there. I don't want to. No. So let's group this. Let's just group it by assign. Let's just group it by none. Let's group it by none. Nah. Do I like this? We can put the status in there. It's all overdue, so that's fine. That's not a big issue. We want to have assignee in here too, to not making sure. Yes, I'm actually excited about you coming on the channel in January, because looking at your sprint dashboards, yes, you are speaking my love language. So duplicating that. Let's do an EV this week. And same thing, what I do is I set up one dashboard, I just duplicate it, and then I adjust the filter accordingly. Due date is this week. I know that is this week. Due date this week. Done. Again, we are in the sandbox, so you are not necessarily seeing all of the tasks. Now, do I like this? Let's play around with it. Let's not include the subtasks for now. Do we want to group this? By what do we... Ooh, you know, you also could group this by stages if you wanted to. As you can tell, I've been doing a whole bunch of duplicating and template generation and copying and adjusting and pulling them in here from my regular one, so my regular account finally gets cleaned up. Don't use your own account as a sandbox. Just don't do it. We can group by priority too in here. It really comes down to what is important to your team. What do they want to see? How do they want to see it? What are those pieces of information that they are looking for in here? And we pretty much can filter anything out. Yeah, I wish. This is one thing where I'm like, oh, so apparently you are disappearing when I switch scenes. This is one thing that I am missing. I wish we could templatize dashboards. That would be yes. Just yes. Not even just copy and paste stuff over, but actually templatizing dashboards. A godsend. So between all of these, that should make your team management way, way, way easier. Let me see. I found a workaround to it by sharing with edit permission. Hold. Can we? How? I'm not following. So you said I found a workaround to do it by sharing with edit permission. And then, oh yeah, hold, because we can internally duplicate. Duh. We can duplicate full-on dashboards. So you theoretically can build the dashboard how you want it for you, and then hit the duplicate dashboard and take it from there. So yes, internally within the company, we can duplicate those and set those up, and then just adjust the filters accordingly. Also, little tip, did you see this, Gustavo? My fancy sorting of dashboards. So when you start, Gustavo, I don't even know how many dashboards you probably have. You're running sprints for how big a team? What happens sooner or later is you have a ton. Let me go into dashboards. You have a ton of dashboards where it's like literally you're just starting. Again, you do have dashboards for research. You have dashboards for brain dumps. You have dashboards like we were just talking about. One dashboard after the other. Yeah, I really just renamed everything. I usually use an empty dashboard that has nothing in it. It just is. And I make the title of that dashboard, that name, in big, bold letters to be able to sort dashboards underneath. So that's kind of like my workaround of being able to label and topic and filter dashboards, simply because we don't have that yet. And apparently I didn't prep myself well enough for a live show today. All of my bottles are empty. Doc Rock would have a heart attack considering I have 2 bottles on my desk. So yeah, not too bad. But you also probably have some tracking dashboards and all kinds of things. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. Yep. We are starting to use dashboards more and more. Now that they're quite stable and bringing in more stuff and embedding things and all the things, we are playing around way more with dashboards, especially when your workflow, there comes the importance in again of visually laying out your dashboards. With the workflows getting really precise and the process getting cleaned up, I now know how my client database is working. Having cleaned up the services and everything, I know, okay, this is the flow my client goes through. Now I can start building dashboards around that kind of data and collecting the data. How long has one of these tasks, my clients, one of these tasks taken me from start to finish? Because the moment they come in as a lead, a start date gets attached to the task, which is the client. So that start date tells me when we started working with a client. And now I can start collecting data of how long were they in each stage and all the things. It's becoming quite fun playing around with dashboards, not only just for team management, like we just talked about, and making it easy. The same thing we just talked about for clients, for team members, you can do for clients. Same thing. I'm like, on my call today, their client is going along and really easy adjusting to just having custom views in the tabs in their list view. No big deal. Perfect. Just some embed. Cool. Just tap on the tabs on top and it's fine. Some clients have trouble with that. You just use a dashboard. You are pulling in, rather than having to click through, you're just pulling in different pieces into your dashboards. And especially with Integromat and a couple of fancy automations, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Just saying. With that, that is what I had on my list today to show you how to make team management in ClickUp really simple. Opening it up to you guys. If you guys have any questions, if you have a specific use case scenario you would like to see covered or trying to figure out right now, wondering how we might make it possible, work it out, make it happen, I don't know, bring it at me. Now is your chance to pop the question into the comment section to get that covered and get a straight up answer right now, right here. And if not, I'm calling it a day because I covered the main points of how you can make it easy for your team to find their way around ClickUp. It really isn't that easy. So remember, when you are running into the issue of your team saying, this is not working, or if you feel overwhelmed, chances are it's not the tool. Many of those tools, when you researched your tools and you say, the features are working for me. This is literally what came out by the end of this call today. ClickUp has the features I want. I know my way around. I love it. I like working with it. I don't want to go Asana. I don't want to go Trello. Whatever it is, she tested so many tools over the last 2 weeks, figuring out if there is something that works better for her than ClickUp. Came back around to no, because usually the issue is somewhere else. We all do our research. We all test. We all do. It's usually not a feature issue, it's an implementation issue. And if you didn't see the beginning, go jump back, go look at the training template, go join the membership, $10 a month, you get the training template for free. It has the whole videos in it. You don't even have to worry about it. And I'll see you in the Discord channel. And again, next week, it's not holidays yet next week. I'll see you next week again for another episode of ClickUp Unplugged. Love you all. Enjoy your evening, day, midnight, morning, wherever on this world you are. I'll see you soon.
Honey, I got what you want.